Join me as I share my story. You see this place? This is where I eat lunch most days. The food is incredible, but every time I sit here, listen to the noise, and watch the traffic, I have this long thought: nobody here knows. They see a guy who looks just like them. They see the guy they grew up with. What they don't see is the numbers in my bank account. What they don't see is the quiet, invisible barrier between me and the world I grew up in. They don't see the 6 zeros staring back at me every time I log in. I'm Charles, and I'm a self-made millionaire. And honestly, it's one of the loneliest things I've ever experienced. I didn't win a lottery. My father didn't leave me a trust fund. My journey was simple, brutal, and totally unpredictable. I built a solution to a problem no one else wanted to touch. We started with next to nothing, zero to hero. Just a laptop, a bad Wi-Fi signal, and a crazy idea about logistics. For 4 good solid years, I slept on my office floor. I missed weddings. I missed festivals. I missed every single football match. My family and friends thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was broke. They were right, until I wasn't. The first big payout wasn't a party. It was a cold, hard number on a screen. I remember sitting there, staring at the figure, and the first thing I felt was joy. It was a paralyzing, terrifying responsibility. That's when I knew the game had fundamentally changed. I remember sitting there, staring at the figure, and the first thing I felt was joy. It was a paralyzing, terrifying responsibility. You can't complain about money problems anymore. That's the unspoken rule. Last week, my friend Imika was stressing about his rent. I wanted to just solve it. Right there, write the check. But you can't. If you do it once, you redefine the relationship forever. You stop being a friend and start being a walking ATM. They complain about a bad month, a small salary, or how crazy the price of fuel is, and they need to vent. It's genuine life. But in my head, I'm thinking about scaling an investment across 3 countries, or the tax implications of buying another asset. I can't contribute. I can't relate to the small daily struggles because my entire scale of problem is now just different. The worst? When they try to give me financial advice. You should buy some land, and I just nod. If I told them how much land I already owned, how carefully structured my portfolio is, they would look at me like an alien. So, I just smile and say, "That's a good idea, Emika. I'll look into it." Success isn't the number. That's the biggest lie we tell ourselves. The real currency is the wealth I acquired. It's the freedom I bought. The freedom to say no to things that drain me. The freedom to say yes to helping my mother retire. The freedom to spend a whole afternoon just sitting here, breathing, knowing that my time is now truly my own. That's what this quiet life is about. It's about protecting that freedom. It means living humbly so you can give generously. You see, wealth is not just numbers on a screen. In my village, the elders used to say, when the yam grows too big, the basket that holds it begins to shake. And that was exactly my life. Money gave me freedom, yes, but it also chained me in ways no one else could see. People no longer looked at me as Charles, the boy who once hawked bread on the streets. They saw a golden statue, untouchable, unreachable. I tried to blend in. I still ate at the same roadside shop. I still greeted the same old faces. But somehow, I was not the same anymore. The road I had walked had carved a distance that could not be crossed by greetings or handshakes. And yet, deep inside, I knew something the world had forgotten. True wealth is not in the silence of digits, but in the noise of shared laughter. One evening after another long day of meetings and contracts, I sat alone. The cars sped by, the horns blared, but I felt emptier than I had when I was broke. I remembered my grandmother's words, whispered long ago under the moonlight. "My son, when you climb the Iroko tree, do not forget to greet the ground that raised you." It struck me. I had spent 4 years fighting like a lion in the desert. I had conquered, yes, but I had forgotten the soil that gave me my roots. So I made a vow. If money had made me lonely, then I would use money to build bridges. Not of gold, not of marble, but bridges of hope. And that is where the real story begins. That night, as I sat with my thoughts, I realized that money is like fire. In the hands of the wise, it cooks food and gives warmth. But in the hands of the foolish, it burns homes to ashes. I decided to return to the village where my story began. When I arrived, nothing had changed. The same dusty road, the same palm trees swaying in the wind, the same old women selling ground nuts by the roadside. But the way people looked at me, that had changed. Some smiled and welcomed me. Others whispered behind my back. A few stretched out their hands, not in greeting, but in expectation. And then came the test. An old childhood friend, Emeka, approached me. He had once laughed at me for chasing dreams, with nothing but a laptop. Now, his voice was sweet, his words polished. "Charles, my brother," he said, "you and I can build something greater. Just give me a share of your wealth, and I will multiply it. We will rise together." His voice was sweet, his words polished. "Charles, my brother," he said, "you and I can build something greater. Just give me a share of your wealth, and I will multiply it. We will rise together." I told him I would support him, but instead of money, I offered him something else: my time, my knowledge, my guidance. His smile vanished, his tone changed, and in that moment, I saw the truth. He wanted my wealth, not my wisdom. That night, I sat by the fire with the village children. My time, my knowledge, my guidance. His smile vanished. His tone changed. And in that moment, I saw the truth. He wanted my wealth, not my wisdom. That night, I sat by the fire with the village children. They asked me, "Uncle Charles, how did you become so rich?" I looked at them and said, "Riches are not in the bank. They are in the mind. A man who learns to solve problems will never go hungry, but a man who only begs for bread." I looked at them and said, "Riches are not in the bank. They are in the mind." Because I had found the bridge I was searching for. Not built with concrete, not built with steel, but built with stories, lessons, and hope. And from that day, I made it my mission, not to hide behind numbers on a screen. Not built with concrete, not built with steel, but built with stories, lessons, and hope. And from that day, I made it my mission. The freedom to spend a whole afternoon just sitting here, breathing, knowing that my time is now truly my own. That's what this quiet life is about. It's about protecting that freedom. It means living humbly so you can give generously. It means staying grounded, even when your accounts aren't. If you're on that grind, if you're sleeping on that floor, and if you're carrying that silent secret of ambition, remember this: the money will come, but don't let the weight of your success separate you from your humanity. Connected to your roots, because the day you can't relate to the simple lunch at the roadside stall, that's the day you truly lose the plot.